Hello, YouTube. This is Lions Den with another news and commentary. I'm doing an update of the incident in Nashville at a Covenant school where 6 people is confirmed dead, 3 kids and 3 adults. Now, the suspect, a trans woman named Audrey Hale, was the woman that carried out the attacks. Now, what you see on this screen right here, her ex teammate and her ex friend Ariana Patton. She's been interviewed by CNN, and answering who she is, how they know each other, and this is very interesting interview. So let's go ahead and play it, and then I'm gonna continue the rest of my commentary.
And listen, let me ask you this before, because there's this whole idea about how he or she identified, and police have been saying one thing. We have not confirmed. Did you know her well?
I knew her well when we were kids, when we were younger. I didn't know the adult Audrey. I still addressed her as Audrey. Okay. I never addressed her as anything else but Audrey.
Okay. And then, so you addressed her as Audrey. Do you know if she identified or he identified as something else?
I'm starting to see that on social media. I don't know that side of her. I'm just saying I resonated with Audrey. That's all I knew. But as I'm watching it, I'm learning more and more.
Thank you very much. Just for clarification, and look, there's information still coming in, yet to be confirmed. And so I just wanted to ask you about that since you had a relationship at one point. So walk us through what happened then. You received these messages on Instagram from Hale. What happened? Mm-hmm.
So I was at home. I received the Instagram DM. And when I initially saw it, I'm like, I'm still working. I'm still like not really, understanding what's happening right now. And so I had screenshotted the message to my dad, and I was like, "This don't seem right. Should I say something?" And he immediately responded, "Yes." And so I called him, and I was like, what who do I call? Like, what do I do? And then he was like, start with the suicide prevention line. So I called them, and they basically was asking me, was I the person that needed the assistance? And I was like, no, but I got the Instagram, maybe you guys can reach out. And they was just basically.
I want to stop right there. I want you, the viewers, is watching this, and I'm continue the interview in a second. Now, this is the Instagram message between Audrey Hale and Ariana Patton. Now, this is extremely interesting because this is for the first time there's been contact between the two. So this is what Audrey Hale said before the attack begins. It says, one day this will make more sense. I've left behind more than enough evidence behind, but something bad is about to happen. And Audrey Hale didn't respond to her message. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that she is, I mean, I'm going to continue this interview in a second, but she's basically telling Ariana Patton that something's about to go down. And really, they didn't give her the specifics about what's about to go down, whether it's going to be a shooting at Covenant School. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, she used to be a student at that school. So I'm just letting you know what the message is saying. So let's continue with the interview.
Like, no, like the person has to call, and then told me to call the deputy, like the local deputy. So I Googled that number and I called them, and then they answered and basically was like, call 862-8600. Got them on the line, and I was on hold for maybe like 7 minutes, and I finally got somebody on the phone. And I told her, I was trying to tell her what was going on, and they were like, okay, we'll send somebody over to you. Nobody ever came. And then maybe like an hour and a half later, I received another phone call, and they were saying, okay, we're going to send somebody. And I was like, oh, I thought you guys were sending somebody initially. So I ended up having to leave my home, and they called me at 3:29 and was like, hey, we're here. They're trying, we're trying to, get the messages, try to ping the location or whatever they could do. And so when they called me, I wasn't at home, and I was like, hey, I'll be there in about 10 minutes. By the time I got home, the officer had left, and I called back, and they said that they had closed out, and they would have to reopen one. And I was just like, well, I don't know. I was just trying to see if you could help.
And all of this had transpired, and the shooting and the time that you were trying to get that help. Why you, Abrianna? If you said that you didn't have a relationship with, as you identify her, as her for a while, why you? Why would she send a message to you?
I I am a avid, a huge, I guess, or I'm an influencer here in Nashville. I worked in radio. I do news. She was most recently at my TV show. I to give you a direct answer, I'm asking God the same question.
Now, this is Audrey Hale. For those of you that don't know, that's the shooter of the Nashville incident. As you can see, there's multiple pictures about. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the video. I want to give a shout out to Rest75 on TikTok for this video, and let me say this: people in the trans community, you need to be concerned right now. And I'm gonna tell you, and I'm speaking to the trans community because what happened in Nashville is gonna spark anti-trans people across this country. Just like what they did with the Muslims when 9/11 happened. This is all, it's bad enough that the trans is getting attacked, you know what I'm saying, from some communities. But because of this incident, it's gonna make things worse. See, the LGBTQ community need to be very concerned because of the incident that happened, you're going to have a lot of right-wing groups or any other hate groups are going to target them because she's a trans. And obviously, when you have 3 children killed, 3 adults killed, and the officers just killed her, then all them hate groups gonna say, well, if she does that, then she's targeting these Americans, these great Americans. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I'm concerned about all of this, because no matter if you're LGBTQ, it doesn't matter what you call yourself. You got a target behind your back because you got people now going to say, oh, well, this trans girl just killed 3 kids, and we're gonna go after every person that's trans. If you're a trans person, we're gonna come after you, and that is disturbing. Because the thing of it is bad enough you have anti-Islamic hate, and now you got anti-trans hate because of that attack. And be honest with you, you got not all gays, not all lesbians, not all trans, or bisexual. Not all people are like that woman that killed these kids in Nashville. But you got people in right wing, right. And I'm gonna get with Tucker Carlson in a second because I've got a video after this, and I want you to check out what Tucker Carlson say about this. But you got people like Tucker Carlson and others gonna say they're the enemy and they're a threat. And this y'all need to be concerned about this. And I'm talking to the trans community right now. Y'all need to be very concerned about this. Because the thing of it is that because she's a trans woman, they're gonna come after all these trans women or whatever, and then they're gonna say, well, because your fellow trans woman killed these kids, and then I'm gonna target some of y'all too. So, and again, I want to give my condolences to the families in the Nashville incident. It was a tragedy of what happened at the Covenant School, but all the people that's believing, true Americans, as Sejihito says, they're gonna say, okay, since she did this, we're gonna go after every trans person that believe in about that community. So you two, let me know what you think about this. This is basically a concern, and whether you agree with who they are or not, This is a concern because they're going to target trans because, I mean, it's bad enough they already target trans as it is, but because of this incident, it's going to make things worse. So you two, let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you in my next video. This is Langston signing off. Deuces.